You start a YouTube channel, you start making videos and you're having fun. And then you look at these well-established YouTubers and their beautiful setups. So you think to yourself, I'm gonna build a similar setup. So you look at your room. So firstly you put yourself, now you need a desk. Okay, now where to put the mic? And you need lights obviously. But what about backlights? What about LEDs? Do you need colored LEDs? What about the backdrop? Do you need a backdrop? What about the painting at the back? Do you need sound pan? That is a situation a lot of content creators face. When you're at the beginning of a YouTube journey, you really don't know where to start off with your YouTube setup. In this video, I'll make it super easy. I'll share 4 simple tips that will help you on your journey to build your own YouTube setup. But before we go on to the tips, I have something really important to get out of the way. Your YouTube setup doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as much as you think it matters because you are the one who's important. You are the one who will drive the videos. Your setup is secondary and it's only there to enhance the quality of your videos. Look at the most popular YouTuber, PewDiePie. Look at his initial setup and look at his current setup. Not much difference, right? Because he is the one that drives the content of his channel. So always keep that in mind and never let your setup stop you from making videos. Well, since we have that out of the way, we can go to the tips. But before that, I want to show my new setup that I have been building for the past few months. But since this is a new setup, let's change the hoodie. The first thing that you want to keep in mind is your brand. When you're planning to create a YouTube channel for the long term, it's really important for you to at the beginning think about the brand you want to build, because that decision will help you decide on the colors you want to include in your setup, the different elements you want to add to your setup, and the different style you want to add to your setup. All of those decisions will be helped if you decide your brand at the beginning. So first decision you need to make is what kind of feel and vibe you want to give out through your videos. And if you have a consistent look throughout the videos, you will be able to establish your brand more easily. For example, if you want to create a YouTube channel for gaming, it's not really important for you to have a setup, but it's really important for you to have good audio and good quality. It doesn't matter what you include in the background or the foreground. It's really important for you to have good audio, to have the video in high quality so that you can play your games and you can project that kind of vibe through the video. But for example, if you are a videography or a photography channel, in that case, you might have gear on the background, you might have a more cinematic look. It really depends upon your brand. What are you trying to build and what are you trying to convey through your videos? So before you do anything with your YouTube space or setup, first decide the brand you want to build for the long term. The second thing is the space. Not everyone has a very big space like the big YouTubers, especially at the beginning. So you really need to think about the space you have and try to be dynamic with that space. It's really important to make the best use of the space that you have. For example, for me, I have a space that has 3 walls and I try to use the longest part of the setup so that I have a distance between the foreground, that is me, and the background, so that I have a better look to the video. So in that way, I make the best use of the longer part of the room. So first of all, look at the space and think how you can make the best use of that space and try to be dynamic, as I said. So I have one look, that's this space that I'm talking to you right now, and with the background that you see, I can create 2 to 3 different sets so that I can make the video more interesting, transition between the different sets. So whenever you are trying to create a YouTube setup, think about how you can make the best use of the different angles that you can create in the room. And also think about the walls, how you can use those walls. For example, this wall right here, I'm planning to use it and create DIY backdrops because it's a white wall and I can create different setups with just one wall. If you're interested in that kind of setup, let me know in the comments below and do subscribe, because the next video will be building DIY backdrops just using one wall. So that's the next important thing, that is the space. Think about how you can make the best use of your space. The next important thing is the lighting. The lighting is not only important to give you a high quality image, but it also sets the mood of your videos or the brand image that you want to build on your videos. So it's really important for you to think about lighting before you start working on your space. And lighting on a budget is also possible, and also using daylight is possible. So at the beginning of your YouTube journey, you don't have much of a budget, then you can use daylight. So make your setup around the window and shoot your videos in the morning. Make the best use of the daylight. In that way, you can have a setup catered to that angle of the room. But slowly, as you build up, you save up money, you would want to get lights so that you can have the most common lighting setup. There's a 3-point lighting setup. You have one light, that's the key light. You have the other light, the fill light, and you have backlight. So slowly as you build up, you can focus on those. But as I said, if you have a dynamic space, you begin with the space and you use daylight. But after that, you build up the budget, you build up, save up, and then you can have a lighting setup like this or even better. So it's really important for you to think about lighting so that you not only have a great image, but also you can add to the vibe of your video. The fourth and final point is audio. Audio is extremely important. A lot of times it's really neglected. Including me at the beginning, I didn't put much effort on my audio and I was very wrong. Because the thing is, anyone will watch a crappy video quality video with extremely good audio, but no one will go through a video that is high quality but the audio sucks. So it's really important for you to invest on your audio even before you invest on your video quality, because you can shoot on your smartphone, but make sure your audio is high quality. So a thing that you need to keep in mind is in your room, you need to think about the echo, the size of the room, so that you can know where to put your mic and how to reduce the amount of echo you have in the room. So think about how you can get the best audio quality within the space you have. That will be key to further up the quality of your videos. So those were the 4 key points that you need to keep in mind when you're trying to build a YouTube setup. And as you can see, I didn't dive deep into any of the categories because you can find dedicated videos of them, lots of them on YouTube. But no one, I think, focuses on the basic before even you start working on the space, what you need to keep in mind. And those are the 4 key points. If you keep in mind, they will help you build a setup that you will be proud enough and you will be able to work it for the long term. And if you have any other tips that you yourself use that will help me out or the other viewers, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know how I can make better use of my own space. But as I said before, if you're interested on how to build DIY backdrops like this that I want to build, let me know in the comments below and subscribe, because that video is coming up next. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in that video.